National Signing Day just passed us just 2 days ago on Wednesday. That, of course, the second of two National Signing Days. The first one has become the thing, but still some key players signed this past Wednesday. We immediately go to those recruiting rankings, and fan bases freak out all over the place because their team's number 8 in the country and not number 1, 2, or 3, right, and so forth. There is some reasonable panic there. I will balance out that statement with a disclaimer to say, I'm looking at the rankings the other day, and if you measure between 1 and 13 in the country, so most people, 13th ranked recruiting class in the country, that's pretty damn good. Kentucky's sitting in that spot. But if you look at the difference between 1 and 13, it is the same as 13 to 75.
Whew.
So those elite classes just are way out there. So first question, recruiting rankings. How much do you buy into them as a guy who coached these guys on the field and had that maybe in the back of your mind that, yeah, this dude's a 5-star. This guy's only a 3-star, but now I'm seeing something different.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot to that question. I think that recruiting rankings are important because Urban Meyer used to say it all the time. Like, if they're going to keep track of recruiting rankings, if they're going to crown someone a recruiting class champion, like, why not try to win? Right. And in saying that, that was his way of not letting coaches just get out of it. Like, well, I like this kid better, right, just because I have a chance at him. But also, we never made decisions based on stars. It was always, great for publicity, PR, marketing if you signed a 5-star. But there were several times where my number 1 receiver in the country was a 4-star that I had ranked over certain 5-stars. So you watch it, you look at it. I mean, that I always pulled the initial receiver list off of 247 Sports or Rivals and went through it, because, I mean, if they're ranked on there, someone thought they were good, so I should evaluate them, right? So it always gave you a good starting point. And I think the other thing that's happened is those services have gotten better and better and better at evaluating. Because when, back in 2012, even earlier, when I was at Florida in the early 2000s, I don't think they were very good at it. I don't think they really had a football background. I mean, some guys did, but when they would rank to put out the top 100, you'd go through it and you're like, how is this kid ranked ahead of this? You had instances where a football staff is looking at it like, what? Like, this doesn't add up. But I think in the last 20 years or however long it's been around, probably about 20 years, I think they've gotten insanely good at it. And to the point where now you go to it and you're like, well, that's the best receiver in the country right there. And that's where they have him ranked. And some of the stuff they do, with the comprehensive rankings where they combine all services, it kind of gets more eyes and more opinions on it. I think they're more accurate than they were before. So I think it's more relevant now. And you can tell that, right? You go back and look at the last 4 classes, and Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio, like, those schools are right at the top. And those are also the schools that are in the playoff conversation at the end of the year. So you could tell that they're pretty accurate when it comes to winning football games.